Yes, you guys, welcome back. I'm UFC. This is Blue Lions TV, and today I'm here to bring you guys another News Daily video. Now this time, I'm going to focus on two stories for today. I'm going to start with by speaking about the latest surrounding Jorginho and Declan Rice, and to end things, I'll be speaking about the latest news on Reguilon from Sevilla. So we do have some very interesting stories to speak about today, you guys. However, before I do continue on, let me get the plugs out of the way real quick. To start with the first one, if you like today's video, if you like this channel, if you love the content, then smash that like button. I want to go over 4,000 likes for today's video. And to move on to the second plug, you guys, of course, if you are already planning on making a purchase for the new home season kit, training kit, away kits, whatever kits for this season, you guys, I am your guy. If you use my affiliate links below in the description, you get access to use my discount code, which is Neely10, to get 10% off your order. What you guys waiting for? I'm here to hook you guys up. And without wasting no more time, we start with the first story today. And I think it's best we start with the latest news surrounding Jorginho and Declan Rice. Now, this article was first reported by Matt Law, and this was a very insightful and very interesting article. It kicks off immediately by stating that Jorginho's agent, João Santos, has confirmed Jorginho could depart for Juventus in this same window. Now, of course, when it comes to this news, there's been a lot of very educated speculation. I think it's pretty common sense when you consider Jorginho compared to other midfield players in the team right now. When you consider the way that Lampard wants his team to play, how he wants his midfield to be, and his recent criticism of our midfield in that loss against Arsenal in the FA Cup, then I think it's fair to assume that Jorginho's future was definitely going to be in doubt once this season ended. Now, what's particularly interesting about this news is that Matt Law confirms the club won't be standing in Jorginho's way if he decides to leave. The only hold-up will come down to Juventus and whether they meet the fee that we want to actually sell Jorginho. Now, Jorginho's agent João Santos remained very coy when he was interviewed recently. In the interview, he did state that right now he hasn't held any personal discussions with Sarri or Juventus' sporting director in Paratici. It's a bit interesting to hear this because throughout the season he's been constantly flirting with Juventus. If you're asking me, it's been purely informal talks, and right now he's not trying to jeopardize any potential deal. You know, Jorginho's a massive client for him, and of course, if he secures another transfer for his client, then he's inclined to receive a big transfer fee commission. You know, that's how the agent game works, that's how football is today, you guys. And right now, if Jorginho is sold, it seems like his direct replacement is going to be Declan Rice for West Ham. Right now, it does seem like West Ham have dropped their valuation by 50 million, and it seems like Declan Rice could leave for 65 million. Now, that's still a ridiculous amount of money. That's a hell of an amount of money, but it's 50 million less than West Ham's original valuation. So if you're asking me, if we play this transfer smart, if we play our cards right, it's all about timing, you guys. Timing. Who knows? West Ham could be in a situation near the end of the season where they may be forced to sell Declan Rice, and hopefully they could be more negotiable by reducing the fee even more. So let's see what happens there. But one thing that is a guarantee: Lampard, the coaches, the club, they feel like whatever money they spend on Declan Rice is not going to be a gamble. And that's because Rice has been at this club since he was like 8 years old. So, you know, he has that DNA inside of him. I'm constantly referring back to that DNA. It's why he's such an effective player. It's why he's such a great defensive midfield player. We can't forget that we produce top quality players in this country. Now, I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions, and to start with, I don't think it's anything personal if we sell Jorginho. You know, we can't discredit his entire game. Jorginho is a great tactician on the field. You know, he commands players where to be, he knows where they're supposed to be, he understands manager's instructions perfectly too, and on top of that he has a great engine, and he has a very good short passing game. The main issue for Jorginho has been this entire season that he doesn't suit the current way we're currently playing under Frank Lampard. Right now it's all about the expansive football, it's all about width, it's all about speed. And the profile of midfield player we need in midfield right now needs to possess the ability to cover lots of distance, lots of ground, and can play quality switch balls left, right and centre. You know, there's so many times that our fullbacks are finding great positions in the final third. I think the game against Arsenal recently in the FA Cup final really highlighted that. And if they had that distribution given to them, it would have completely changed the entire tactical nature of that game, and I personally feel like we could have come out from that game with the win. I really do feel that. I think the way we started that game against Arsenal was key. We were fighting the balls out wide, we were opening the spaces between the lines too, and that's why your Pulisic and your Mason Mounts look so devastating in those first 15 minutes. But if you're passing the ball with no conviction and moving the ball very slowly to you guys, it does mean that you give more time to your opposition team to regain their defensive shape. And once they do that, it means that all the space you created becomes absolutely nothing in the end, and you can't create attacks as effectively. So in that sense, it's no surprise why Jorginho is going to be sold. And to move on to his replacement in Declan Rice, I honestly feel like this guy is the right guy to sign. As I'm constantly stressing, he has that DNA inside of him. He came from our club, he knows how to play, he moves that ball so damn fast. Left foot, right foot, passes between the lines, he can switch that ball so confidently too. And considering his age, a guy that's been playing, first team football in the Premier League since he was like 17 years old, he's ready. He has that experience too. And if he signs for us, his game can find an even higher level. And honestly, I think he has the potential to become a leading midfield player in this country. So let's see what happens in those regards, you guys. Let's hope Juventus come with a favourable deal. There's been previous talks suggesting that Jorginho could be sold on a 3-year loan deal. That could work out in our favour. Let's see what happens there. And let's hope too with West Ham that as time does go on, I feel that they could bring their valuation down even more for Declan Rice. David Moyes had come out earlier today and he stated categorically that right now West Ham can't necessarily spend the type of money they did last season, but they spent so heavily on signings and investments right now due to COVID, due to that expense from last season too. They have to be very selective with their business in this window. So if they could sell the Declan Rice for big money, that could really help them out a ton, you guys. So let's see what happens there. And you guys, in the comments below, let me know, would you be happy to see Declan Rice here for next season? And to end things with a final news report for today, reports from Spain suggest that right now we are currently entertaining the possibility of signing this player on loan for a season. So I think this gives us very big implications, and I think one player in particular whose future could be settled if this news is concrete is Marcos Alonso. Now, what's quite ironic is that we know that there have been strong links from Sevilla throughout the season, suggesting that they are currently interested to bring Marcos Alonso to their club. A few months back, you guys, reports came out suggesting that Alonso's father, who was an ex-football player himself, and who used to play for Sevilla back in the late 90s and early 2000s, he would personally like his son to sign for Sevilla. The only issue with this deal though is that Sevilla don't have the funds to necessarily sign him, and if they were to sign Marcos Alonso, they prefer to sign him on loan for a season. So in that sense, maybe things would work out. We know that with Marcos Alonso, he's nearly 30 years old, his market value is only going to decrease and plummet. So if we possibly did a loan deal with Sevilla, then it would make sense to have some automatic clauses inserted in this deal. Let's say that Marcos Alonso played maybe 15-20 games in the season. Once he did that, then Sevilla had to automatically pay a fixed fee at the end of the season. I personally think that's how we could do business. It's quite typical for loan deals to be like this. And when you also consider the business we've currently done with Real Madrid over the past few seasons, then it does further support the idea that potentially Reguilon could be available on loan for a season. And when you consider the amount of business we've done with Real Madrid over the past few seasons, then potentially we could do another deal similar to Kovacic and sign Reguilon on loan for a season. It's still news. We know that these stories aren't always super accurate, but I would not be surprised if the club were entertaining the possibility of striking a deal like this. If we sign him on loan, then maybe this implies that we're looking to spend big on Ben Chilwell. Last night, you guys, I told you that the club are feeling optimistic, they're feeling positive, they're feeling confident, and at this point in time, they're close to agreeing personal terms with Ben. If you want to hear my full thoughts and opinions, I suggest you watch yesterday's video. But anyway, to finalize today's story, Reguilon put in a very impressive performance against Roma in the Europa League tonight. He scored a great goal where he used his amazing pace and acceleration to make an infield run inside to score the first goal, and he played an important part in the second goal as well. It seems like he's feeling pretty confident with all the interest behind him right now. And to keep things absolutely real with you guys, I still have my own personal reservations about just how valid this entire story is. I have to hear more stories come out. I need to hear more esteemed and credible people speak about this story too. But I will not be surprised that right now informal talks are taking place and inquiries are being made. So you guys, on that note, I'm going to wrap things up and keep things moving. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. I'm the EFC. This is Blue Lines TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos.